The South Today Bulletin, proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Tonight on the South Today, a popular Dunedin cafe is preparing to shut up shop for the last time, 4 decades after first opening. A new multi-million-dollar facility is nearing completion in Christchurch, giving netball in the city a new home. And trouble on the streets of Dunedin as a worried mother calls for a pedestrian crossing after a near tragedy. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. A Dunedin cafe is getting ready to pour its last coffee and dish out its last scone after decades of service. While Civic Cafe struggled to handle the ripple effects of COVID-19, the owners are grateful for loyal support over the years.
Dunedin's Civic Cafe is closing its doors for good, saying goodbye after 40 years in the heart of the city. Owner Dee Tang took over the coffee shop in 2015, back when the cafe was much busier, having had 7 staff working for him in the Civic Plaza suite. He insists there were multiple reasons that have led him to close the establishment, but believes economic downturn was the major factor.
Too much it costs, too much just. So council helped us just on rent. It's great hope. But I think the central government also needed to help the small business, especially under the hospitality business. Too hard.
Tang has had a difficult time trying to keep up with rent costs, along with recent increases to minimum wage, forcing him to bump prices up on their menu. He says despite all the issues the business has faced, they still have some regular customers who'd often come in for a coffee and a munch.
They supported us years, but sadly we have to disappoint them.
Tang's looking to retire with his wife next year, taking the time to reminisce on the good times they had at the cafe, with it set to shut up shop in mid-September. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Demolition work on a block of old Dunedin homes is well underway as Kāinga Ora continue working towards meeting the growing housing demand in the city. Contractors are busy tearing down 16 homes on Carroll Street, making way for 41 brand new houses. Work on stripping down the existing building started in late August, with the former residents being moved to other accommodation provided by the housing agency. The new homes will include a car park, shared outdoor space and community facility for complex residents. This redevelopment's just one of a number of projects from Kāinga Ora, with demo work due to be all done by the end of the month. Netball in Christchurch will have a new home soon after the new purpose-built facility opens next month. The all-weather sports complex is tracking on time, nearly ready to become the South Island's premier indoor venue for sport and recreation.
A sneak peek behind the curtain at Christchurch's brand new indoor sports complex. The Christchurch Netball Centre's $16.5 million sports facility is nearing completion at Hillmorton's Napunawai Sports Hub. The much-needed 13,000 square metre all-weather venue is being constructed by Apollo Projects, creating a multi-purpose centre for the whole community to enjoy.
We've got 10 netball courts here and we've got a cafe. There's going to be a cafe on site. We've got an amazing mezzanine floor behind us that can be used for viewing netball and other things.
Houghton says they're currently in talks with other sporting organisations in Christchurch interested in using the facility. He insists netball at South Hagley Park will continue, but the pavilion has been sold to the Christchurch City Council to be used as a multicultural centre.
We've retained the lease for the 30 courts at Hagley Park, so for the next 2 years we'll still have that lease and then we'll reassess what sort of outdoor court space we need going forward.
Saturday netball at Hagley Park will still be an option, but a lot more games will be spread out at the new indoors venue throughout the week. The Christchurch Netball Centre has up to 6,000 members, with volunteer Wayne Hawker believing the new purpose-built facility will help to strengthen netball even more. He is also excited to be joining the committee after years of dedication to the sport.
I've given so much over the last 26 years to our club and the teams that I've coached and that. So joining the competitions committee that actually deliver the day-to-day running of netball, that is another new exciting journey for me.
A formal name for the new complex is yet to be confirmed, but is expected to be announced before the official opening in November. In Christchurch, the South Today.
A popular South Dunedin eatery is shutting up shop for a few weeks as the workers prepare for a well-deserved break. The bowling club in Caversham had its last day of trading today, with the restaurant announcing it will be closing its doors for the next 3 weeks. The establishment prides itself on providing cheap and healthy meals for the community and has proved popular with the Dunedin locals. Owners say staff will enjoy a 2-week holiday, ready for a week of training before they reopen early next month. The bowling club will be changing up their operation, instead serving from Tuesday to Thursday, with a 5-day work week on the cards from next year. A Dunedin mother is desperately calling for the council to add a new pedestrian crossing near her home after her daughter was recently hit by a car. Some Mornington residents have expressed concern regarding the area for years, saying there's been too many close calls along the dangerous stretch of road.
Dunedin resident Jo Curriger has been left afraid to let her daughter cross the road alone following an incident near her Mornington road home. She says the sharp turn and slight hill on the road makes it difficult for drivers to slow down in the case of an emergency, causing danger for people trying to cross. Her 12-year-old daughter Paige was trying to catch a bus on the other side of the street last week when she was suddenly hit by an oncoming car.
I looked right and I saw the car, and the next thing I knew, I was in the air, got launched back. I was on the road, knees down, like me holding my knees to try and stop the bleeding.
Many pupils attending the local primary school get dropped off at this part of the road, with local residents pushing for a pedestrian crossing in the area for years. Curriger believes a crossing would drastically improve safety on the Mornington road, hoping to prevent future accidents like the one they experienced.
Just desperately don't want other families to have the same experience we did, and we feel extremely lucky that our daughter wasn't seriously injured or even killed, because I know a lot of families don't have that.
The family hopes the Dunedin City Council will take action in light of recent events, feeling a new crossing is the best option for keeping pedestrians safe. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Whai Yakane, still to come on the South Today. A Wanaka multi-sport athlete preps for the race of a lifetime, and Christchurch plane spotters get a rare sighting of a decommissioned aircraft from a different angle.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Here at Age Concern Otago, we offer a range of services to support Otago seniors to age well with dignity and independence. We provide social work support, visiting service, health promotion and social activities. Check out what we have on offer at ageconcernotago.com.
Aero, used by Australia's top bowlers with their unique Z-scoop grip that redefines the game. Machined with robotics for unparalleled accuracy, Aero, same line, every time.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. A Wanaka multi-sport athlete is pushing himself to the absolute limit, looking to gain the world title he's been working towards for a decade. Braden Curry is off to the Ironman World Champs, ready to race in what he's calling the pinnacle event of his career.
Braden Curry polishing up his bike, ready for the race of a lifetime. The Wanaka athlete is a long way from home as he prepares for the upcoming Ironman World Championships in France. The city of Nice is hosting the triathlon race for the first time, set up to push the athletes' bodies to the limit, competing in swimming, running and cycling.
The course is pretty epic, definitely going to absolutely tear some people to pieces, probably including myself, but I expect that to be the case, so I'll be ready to go pretty deep on this one.
The gruelling 226-kilometre course starts with a swim in the Mediterranean Sea, followed by a steep bike ride through the French mountains, finishing off with a marathon-length run along the waterfront. Curry has been injury-free during the build-up to the race, putting everything he has into his 9-week training camp in Noosa and St Moritz.
It's World Championships, so the best of the best are here. Everyone's put everything into it. You know that no one's turning up as if it's just a secondary race or an easy week to test the legs, so it's going to be pretty exciting.
The VinFast Ironman World Championships is set to dive into action on Sunday, with Curry hoping to improve on his third-place podium from last year, gunning for the world title. In Nice, the South today.
Plane spotters excitedly watched on as a decommissioned aircraft made its way through Christchurch, even though it wasn't airborne.
This RNZAF Orion currently winging its way to Christchurch, but in pieces. The decommissioned aircraft was disassembled at Marlborough's base Woodburn for the long road trip south to its new home at Wigram's Air Force Museum of New Zealand. However, the 12-truck convoy was deemed too long, as roads had to be closed as they made their way south. A decision was made to send the wings, engines, propellers and other parts ahead, with the 36-metre-long fuselage scheduled to be transported by road in 2 weeks. The Lockheed P3K Orion was one of 6 retired by the Air Force earlier this year, after a collective service of more than 100 years. They have been replaced by 4 Boeing Poseidon aircraft to continue in their airborne surveillance role. The convoy has reached Amberley and is expected to make the final road journey to the Air Force Museum of New Zealand overnight, arriving early on Friday morning for unloading. In Christchurch, the South today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. It's closing time for Dunedin's Civic Cafe, bidding farewell after 40 years of service. The finishing touches are being put on Christchurch's new indoor netball complex ahead of its opening in November. And Dunedin locals are calling for a pedestrian crossing to be added on Mornington Road after a child was hit by a car. And time now for a look at the weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, it'll be warm across the region tomorrow as northerly airflow increases, then some showers are developing on Sunday as winds swing northwest. Heading to the top of the South Island, fine with light north to northeast winds tomorrow and temperatures in the high teens. Expect 19 in Nelson and Christchurch with 18 over on the west coast in Greymouth. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago. A gorgeous day is on the way tomorrow with lots of sunshine and some northerlies. Ashburton heads for 21, 22 in Timaru and 19 degrees in Oamaru. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, nice and fine with a bit of a northerly breeze on and off. Expect 20 degrees in Queenstown and up to 22 in both Wanaka and Alexandra. Heading further south, cloud increasing through here with 17-degree highs and fresh winds for Gore, Balclutha and the Catlins. Across to Invercargill, fine with northerlies and down to 9 overnight. The next 2 days will be warm with changing winds and brief showers, up to 17 tomorrow, 16 degrees on Sunday. And finally heading to Dunedin, northerlies with a low of 5 tonight, and the weekend looks lovely with lots of sunshine, patchy cloud and maybe a spit of late rain, with 19 degrees the high on Saturday and 16 to wrap up the weekend Sunday. And that's the news this Friday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. And you can also follow us on Facebook. Just search for The South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. We'll see you again tomorrow, or next week actually, won't we? Mā te wā.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.
The South Today Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.